Since the dawn of civilizations, humans have been fascinated by the concept of time. The daily cycles of night and day, the changing seasons and the movement of celestial bodies over the sky have all played a role in shaping our understanding of time. Over millennia, various civilizations have developed clever ways of measuring and tracking time, leading to the sophisticated timekeeping devices we use today. Today's journey through the history of timekeeping highlights the remarkable creativity and curiosity that have driven humans' quest to understand and measure time. One of the earliest and most significant developments in timekeeping was the invention of the sundial, originating in ancient Egypt around 1500 BCE. Sundials were among the first devices used to measure time. These early timepieces consisted of a simple vertical rod known as a gnomon, which cast a shadow onto a marked surface. And by observing the position of the shadow, people could determine the time of day. And the use of the sundials spread through other ancient civilizations, including the Greeks and the Romans, who developed their design and application of it. Greek mathematicians and astronomers such as Anaximander contributed to the development of the more accurate sundials by studying the movement of the sun and its relation to the Earth's axis. And that made sundials become a common fixture in public squares, temples and private residences throughout the Roman Empire, underlying their importance in the daily life. And sundials continued to be used during the Middle Ages in Europe, particularly in agriculture and religious context. They were crafted from various materials, including stone, metal, wood, and even paper, and came in different shapes and forms, such as horizontal, vertical, and also equatorial design, each optimized for different purposes. Another ancient method of timekeeping was the water clock, or clepsydra. The earliest evidence of water clocks dates back to ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia around the 16th century BCE. These early water clocks consisted of a container filled with water that dropped at a constant rate through a small hole. And then the gradual decrease in the water level measured the passage of time. And the ancient Greeks further developed the water clock, improving its design and accuracy. Greek philosopher and mathematician Plato, for example, is said to have invented a really sophisticated water clock called the clepsydra of Plato, which featured an intricate system of interconnected vessels that controlled the flow of water. And this allowed for more precise timekeeping, enabling the Greeks to measure intervals as short as minutes or even seconds. And water clocks became widespread throughout the world and were used in various contexts. For example, in China, during the Eastern Han Dynasty, 25 to 220 CE, the astronomer Zhang Heng invented a highly advanced water clock known as the water-driven celestial globe. And this remarkable device incorporated intricate gears and mechanisms to track the movements of celestial bodies, including the stars, planets, and even constellations. Zhang Heng's water-driven celestial globe was a major step forward in both timekeeping and astronomy. And it could detect and predict celestial phenomena such as solar and lunar eclipse. And although the original device has been lost to history, Zhang Heng's contribution to the science and technology are still celebrated today. The Middle Ages saw a significant advancements in timekeeping with the development of the mechanical clock. The earliest mechanical clocks emerged in the 13th century and were primarily installed in monasteries and in cathedrals. These early medieval clocks were large and intricate instruments, often housed in tall houses or towers, where they were visible to the surrounding community. Medieval clocks relied on a system of weights, gears and escapements to regulate the movement of the clock hand. So the clock's mechanism was powered by weights suspended from ropes or chains, which gradually descended as they unwound, driving the gears and causing the clock to tick. One of the earliest surviving examples of medieval clocks is the Salisbury Cathedral clock, dating back to the late 14th century. And this clock located in Salisbury, England, features a large iron frame and an escapement mechanism. It originally had no dial and struck the hours on a big bell. Another medieval clock is the Wells Cathedral clock, believed to have been built around 1392. This clock was renowned for its astronomic dial, which displays the phases of the moon and the positions of the planets. It also features an elaborate scene that comes to life every quarter hour. The 17th century witnessed a major leap in timekeeping accuracy with the invention of the pendulum clock by Dutch scientist Christian Huygens. Known for his wide-range contribution to physics, mathematics and astronomy, Huygens introduced the pendulum clock in 1656, I think it was, significantly enhancing timekeeping accuracy. The innovation of Christian's pendulum clock was the incorporation of a pendulum as the regulating mechanism. He discovered that by suspending a weight on a rod or a cord and allowing it to swing freely, the pendulum would oscillate at a constant rate, regardless of the amplitude of its swing. This provided a reliable means of measuring time. And Christian realized that by attaching a gear train to the pendulum, he could transmit its regular motion to the clock's hands, thus creating a precise timekeeping device. He constructed his first pendulum clock prototype in 1657, and by 1659 he had perfected the design and built a working model. And Huygens' pendulum clock was a significant improvement over existing timekeeping mechanisms, such as the escapement used in medieval clocks, for example. The pendulum's regular movements provided much greater accuracy and stability, allowing clocks to keep time within precisions down to seconds per day. The introduction of the pendulum clock had profound implications for society. As an example, it revolutionized navigation at sea, allowing sailors to determine the longitude with greater accuracy. It also led to the standardization of timekeeping and the establishment of accurate time standards for both scientific and industrial processes. Huygens' invention laid the foundation for the development of precision timekeeping devices, including the marine chronometer and the modern mechanical watch. His work on pendulum clocks earned him widespread recognition and cemented his legacy as one of the greatest scientists of the 17th century. The Industrial Revolution, which began in the 18th century and extended into the 19th century, brought about significant changes in the watchmaking industry. Mass production became the hallmark of this era, transforming the way watches were made and who could afford them. Previously, skilled artisans crafted watches, making them expensive and accessible only to the rich. However, advancements in the manufacturing techniques, such as the introduction of the interchangeable parts and the use of machinery, made it possible to produce timepieces on a much larger scale and at a lower cost. And as a result, watches became more affordable and accessible to the general public. The industrialization also fostered standardization within the watchmaking industry. Machinery for manufacturing watch components, including gears, spring, and even dials, enabled watchmakers to produce consistent and uniform pieces. And this standardized approach streamlined production processes and enhanced the reliability and quality of watches. And furthermore, the Industrial Revolution spurred innovations in watch design and technology. You know, the integration of new materials such as steel and alloys enhanced the durability and also the performance of watches. And additionally, advancements in precision engineering resulted in more accurate timekeeping mechanisms, paving the way for development of chronometers and other precision instruments. The Industrial Revolution revolutionized the watch industry, democratizing access to timepieces and driving advancements in design, manufacturing, and technology. And this period was a significant milestone in the watch industry, shaping the industry's future and paving the way for following innovations. In the 20th century, wristwatches became the dominant form of personal timekeeping, initially popularized during the World War I for its practicality. Wristwatches quickly became a fashion accessory and a symbol of status. And the quest for precision in timekeeping reached new heights with the invention of atomic clocks in the mid-20th centuries. Atomic clocks measure time based on the vibration of atoms, typically cesium or rubidium, and are accurate to within a few billionths of a second per day. And these clocks have become the standard for international timekeeping and are also used in various applications, including the Global Positioning System, GPS, and telecommunications and scientific research, of course. And so today we take for granted the myriad timepieces, devices that surround us. And from wristwatches and the smartphones to atomic clocks. The origins of timekeeping showcase humanity's creativity and curiosity. From the earliest sundials and water clocks to the sophisticated mechanical clocks of the Middle Ages, the pendulum clocks of the 17th century, and the mass-produced watches of the Industrial Revolution. Each advancement has brought us closer to mastering the measurement of time. And so today, atomic clocks represent the pinnacle of this journey, offering accuracy that was unimaginable to our ancestors. As we continue to explore the mystery of time, we honor the creativity and curiosity that have driven us to measure and understand this fundamental aspect of our existence. And so that was everything for today. If you found my content interesting, well, just click one of these two images and you will be directed to the next video.